They call him cold, detached, a ghost in the social machine. They mistake his silence for apathy, his distance for disdain. What they fail to comprehend is that this silence is a forge, and this distance is a fortress. And from within it emerges a form of kindness so potent, so profound, it shatters every conventional definition of the word. Welcome back to the Sigma Male community. The one place that understands the path of the lone wolf is not one of isolation, but of profound self-mastery. Today we dismantle the myths and expose a truth hidden in plain sight. The 11 reasons why the Sigma male, guided by an unspoken Stoic code, is one of the most genuinely kind and empathic humans you will ever encounter. Prepare to have your understanding of strength and compassion fundamentally rewired, as we explore the quiet power that operates beneath the surface, a power that doesn't scream for attention but changes worlds with a whisper. The world is addicted to the performance of compassion, a loud and shallow display of fleeting emotion. But true empathy, the kind that alters destinies, operates on a completely different plane. It is not about feeling what another feels. It is about understanding their internal landscape with such clarity that you can hand them the tools to navigate their own way out of the storm. This is the domain of the Sigma male, a realm where Stoic principles of logic, resilience, and self-control are not cold, academic concepts, but the very fuel for a revolutionary form of kindness. This kindness is not soft. It is the sharp, unwavering edge of a surgeon's scalpel, cutting away the gangrene of self-pity and delusion to save the patient. It is a demanding, empowering force that respects your potential too much to let you remain broken. Stay with me as we delve into the blueprint of this silent strength and discover why the quietest man in the room is often the one with the biggest heart. 1. The unseen architects of resilience. Forget hollow sympathy and the performative sorrow that floods the social landscape. The Sigma male operates on a deeper, more profound frequency of human connection. He understands that true, effective compassion is not about drowning with someone in the turbulent waters of their sorrow. It is about meticulously building them a raft from the wreckage of their own logic and strength. His empathy is the embodiment of Stoic action. He doesn't get lost in the emotional chaos. Instead, he observes the situation from a stable vantage point, dispassionately analyzing the root cause of the distress, and then offers solutions so precise, so logical, that they cut directly through the dense fog of emotional turmoil. Some may misinterpret this as coldness or detachment, but it is, in fact, the ultimate form of respect for an individual's capacity to overcome their own challenges. He delivers the hard, unvarnished truths necessary for genuine growth, operating on the firm belief that a moment of discomfort is an insignificant price to pay to avoid the long-term agony of avoidance and self-deceit. This is not empathy designed for your temporary comfort. It is empathy weaponized for your ultimate liberation. He has an innate ability to bypass the distracting emotional noise to address the structural flaw in the foundation of a problem. Where others arrive with a box of tissues and empty platitudes, he arrives with a set of blueprints. His brand of kindness manifests as an unwavering intellectual honesty and a piercing strategic insight. He forces a confrontation with reality not out of cruelty, but because he respects your potential far too much to allow you to languish in the comfortable prison of delusion. It is a demanding and potent form of love, one that is deeply rooted in the Stoic principle of focusing only on what is within your control, your choices, your responses, and your path forward. He isn't there to carry you. He is there to remind you how to walk, providing the map and pointing towards the unshakable ground of personal responsibility and inner strength, confident that you have what it takes to make the journey yourself. 2. Boundaries forged in silent steel. It is a common and grave error to misinterpret the Sigma male's profound reserve as detachment or a lack of care. At your own peril, you will discover that their kindness is fiercely protected by boundaries that are as silent as they are impenetrable. This is not the aloofness of an arrogant mind, but the result of profound self-respect and a commitment to operational efficiency in their own lives. They possess deep wells of empathy and are capable of offering immense support, but these precious resources are reserved exclusively for those who demonstrate genuine worth, reciprocity, and integrity. For the toxic, the manipulative, the endlessly draining energy vampires who plague the social world, the dismissal is swift, absolute, and completely devoid of drama or fanfare. It is a masterful exercise in Stoic practice, a conscious decision to preserve their inner peace and allocate their vital resources only where they can truly matter and make a difference. In this context, what appears to be ruthlessness is, in fact, the vigilant guardian of their genuine, potent kindness. This discerning nature is not a form of cruelty, it is the highest expression of personal integrity and wisdom. They understand a fundamental truth that eludes many. Indiscriminate giving not only devalues their own energy but also enables and perpetuates dysfunction in others. By being ruthlessly decisive with the wrong people, they safeguard the purity and potency of the kindness they reserve for the deserving few. This is the Stoic concept of amor fati applied to their social lives. They accept the nature of others for what it is without judgment, and then act decisively to align themselves only with that which serves virtue, growth, and inner tranquility. Their limited and carefully curated circle is not a symptom of isolation. It is a sanctuary, a fortified space where authentic, meaningful connections can flourish, protected from the corrosion of the outside world. 3. Validation without vanity's echo. The Sigma male possesses a rare and subtle genius, the ability to make you feel profoundly and completely seen, without resorting to the cheap currency of flattery. He does not engage in the trade of empty compliments or the ego-stroking theatrics that define so much of modern interaction. Instead, with an almost unnerving level of perception, he identifies your core struggles, your hidden strengths, and the unspoken potential that lies dormant within you, the very parts of your being that most people gloss over or fail to notice entirely. His acknowledgement is rarely overt. It may come as a single, carefully weighted phrase, or a quiet, insightful observation that lands with the force of a revelation. The effect is transformative, leaving you feeling intrinsically validated, solid, and undeniably, authentically real. This remarkable power stems from his practice of radical presence and deep observation, a state completely free from the personal need to impress, control, or dominate the interaction. He speaks to you as an equal, regardless of status or circumstance, creating a rare and sacred space that is entirely free from judgment or the exhausting pressure to perform. In his presence you feel safe not because he offers hollow promises of safety, but because his acceptance of you is implicit, unshakable, and unconditional. He holds up a mirror that reflects your authentic self, a mirror held steady and without the distortions of his own ego or agenda. This gift of pure, unfiltered self-recognition is far more valuable and lasting than any amount of fleeting praise, and it is a kindness rooted in the warmth of Stoic objectivity. 4. The silent salvation. His greatest and most impactful acts of kindness are very often completely invisible. A Sigma male will not ride in on a white horse, waving banners to announce his benevolent intervention. He operates from the shadows, a master strategist of human betterment who seeks no credit for his work. He might casually drop a life-altering insight into a conversation, disguised as a simple offhand remark, that will resonate with you for years to come. He might subtly maneuver you away from a professional or personal precipice that you hadn't even seen looming before you. He is the one who connects crucial dots behind the scenes, placing a vital opportunity squarely in your path, or quietly dismantling a threat before it ever has a chance to reach you, all without ever leaving a fingerprint or a trace of his involvement. His singular goal is your empowered autonomy, not your indebted gratitude. He inherently understands the corrupting nature of perceived debt and the profound fragility of the human ego. By deliberately erasing his own presence from the equation of your success, he ensures that the growth you achieve is truly and completely yours, that the victory you celebrate is authentically won by your own hand. He doesn't linger for the applause or wait for confirmation of his impact. He acts based on an internal principle, the Stoic concept of virtus or virtue, and then fades away, finding his solace solely in the knowledge that the path for another was made clearer and more navigable. His legacy isn't written in public accolades or acknowledged favors. It is written in the unseen currents of the resilience he helps to build in others, a silent testament to a kindness that seeks only to empower and then disappear. 5. Sanctuary for the scarred soul. In a world that constantly demands you fix yourself and present a polished, perfect facade in order to earn love and acceptance, the Sigma male offers a rare and precious sanctuary for you to exist as you are. He doesn't perceive your brokenness, your scars, or your struggles as a project to be managed or a flaw that requires his correction. Instead, he sees these things for what they are, a testament to your survival, a unique and complex topography of your human experience. His presence is not a repair kit filled with unsolicited advice or quick fixes. It is an unwavering, non-judgmental harbor where your ship can find safe anchor. He doesn't smother you with pity or feed the insidious narratives of victimhood. He simply is a steady, accepting force that makes your most fractured pieces feel held, understood, and valid, not faulty. This radical acceptance is his unspoken superpower. He understands from his own journey that healing is not a linear process and that it absolutely cannot be forced by external pressure. By offering his unconditional presence without the exhausting pressure to conform, perform, or get better on someone else's timeline, he creates the fertile, silent ground where self-compassion and genuine, organic growth can finally take root. He doesn't just tolerate the storm within you. He respects it, not in spite of the chaos, but because he recognizes it as the very force that has shaped the complex, resilient, and interesting being that stands before him. This is the ultimate expression of Stoic acceptance of what is, coupled with a profound and deeply human connection that heals more than any words ever could. Look closer. This isn't a random collection of personality quirks. It is the direct and deliberate output of a meticulously calibrated inner forge. You, observing this phenomenon, whether you are recognizing these traits in yourself or finally beginning to understand that enigmatic presence in your life, are witnessing Stoicism in lived, breathing action. That unshakable calm you see? It is not indifference. It is the disciplined and masterful management of perception and reaction, a practice that frees up immense reserves of energy for deliberate, purposeful action. That stubborn refusal to broadcast his good deeds? It is the complete and total rejection of external validation, the profound understanding that worth is found solely in one's alignment with internal virtue, not in the applause of the crowd. That ruthless boundary you encounter? It is the principle of justice applied to the self. The deep knowledge that one's finite resources of time and energy must be allocated wisely to uphold one's duty to the deserving. This empathy is not a passive feeling. It is an active principle distilled through the crucible of reason and expressed with unwavering, focused intent. The Sigma strength is what fuels his kindness. His clarity is what defines its potent and transformative form. This is the engine that runs beneath the silence. 6. The bleeding healer. Picture this scenario. A man drowning in his own silent, internal tempest, buffeted by waves of his own struggles, yet his first unwavering instinct is to reach out a steady hand and pull you from yours. The Sigma male has a capacity to compartmentalize his personal agony with a terrifying and almost inhuman efficiency. While he may be internally fractured and fighting battles you cannot possibly imagine, he projects an aura of unwavering strength, becoming a reliable lifeline for others in their time of need. This is not some twisted form of martyrdom or a cry for attention. It is a deep-seated, fundamental imperative of his character. He refuses to burden others with his own pain, not because of mistrust, but from a stoic and realistic understanding that most people simply lack the capacity to grasp the depth of his internal world, and that raw vulnerability, in the wrong hands, often invites exploitation rather than true solace. His help is extended with a fierce and unconditional quality. He does not bleed on you in order to guilt you into submission or loyalty. He bleeds silently while he is handing you the bandages for your own wounds. He expects no loyalty parade in his honor, no songs of praise for his sacrifice, and often not even a basic recognition of what he has done. He acts because his understanding of solitary suffering is not theoretical. It is visceral and deeply personal. If he has the capacity to absorb some of the darkness in the world to spare another person from its full impact, he will do so, without fanfare, without complaint, and without hesitation. He will walk away from the encounter more shattered than before, yet quietly satisfied that the light of his effort reached where it was most needed. It is premeditatio malorum in reverse. He has so thoroughly prepared for his own storms that he has become an expert at navigating others through theirs. 7. Debtless Generosity. Witness a man who could single-handedly move mountains to clear your path and then, in the aftermath, casually turn the conversation to the weather. The Sigma male gives his time, his energy, his resources, his profound insight, and then he immediately and completely erases the ledger. There are no subtle reminders of his contribution, no lingering hints of expectation, and absolutely no assumption of future reciprocity. He inwardly scoffs at the fundamentally transactional nature of what passes for kindness in the modern world. If his immense generosity is ever met with a sense of entitlement or is actively exploited, he will not launch into a tirade of accusations or attempt to induce guilt. He will simply and silently vanish from your life, his absence becoming a louder and more damning condemnation than any angry rant ever could be. He instinctively downplays his own sacrifices to an almost absurd degree. A life-altering intervention that changes the entire trajectory of your future? He'll dismiss it with a simple, "It was nothing." This is not a display of false modesty. It is the result of a fundamental disconnect in his mind between the action itself and any need for external validation for having performed it. His kindness is an intrinsic expression of his being, as natural and necessary to him as breathing. He understands on a core level that attaching strings to a gift corrupts its purity and ultimately diminishes the giver. In a world utterly obsessed with keeping a cosmic scorecard of IOUs and favors owed, his brand of debtless giving is revolutionary. It is unforgettable precisely because it asks for absolutely nothing in return, perfectly embodying the Stoic ideal of doing good purely for its own sake. 8. The dignity-preserving challenger. True growth is never nurtured in the suffocating hothouse of coddling, nor can it survive in the barren wasteland of humiliation. The Sigma male instinctively knows how to navigate this treacherous razor's edge with masterclass precision. He sees your vast potential buried deep beneath layers of comfortable excuses or patterns of self-sabotage, and he will call it out. But crucially, he does so without ever stripping you of your dignity. His challenge is not an attack on your character. It is an invocation, a call to the higher self he sees within you. He holds up a stark, clear mirror, not to shame you into submission, but to awaken your own latent power and force a moment of profound self-awareness. He speaks the truth with an edge sharp enough to pierce through the thickest armor of denial, yet it is always delivered with an undercurrent of deep respect for the fighter he knows resides within you. His credibility in this role is ironclad and cannot be questioned, because he rigorously lives the very standard that he advocates for. He is in a perpetual state of evolution, constantly mastering his own domain and embodying the tireless Stoic pursuit of wisdom and self-mastery. This unwavering authenticity is what makes his challenge resonate so deeply and effectively. He has no desire to gather disciples or followers. He seeks only to plant the seeds of self-confrontation with surgical precision. After offering the catalyst, he steps back, profoundly respecting your autonomy to choose the path of growth for yourself. He offers the spark, trusting that your own inner fire has what it takes to ignite and burn brightly. It is the purest form of leadership, achieved not by command, but by quiet, relentless, and inspiring example. 9. The Unadvertised Shield. Heroes seek the spotlight, craving recognition for their deeds. Guardians, however, operate in the gloom, content with the knowledge that the perimeter is secure. The Sigma male is unequivocally the latter. His protection is a silent, instinctive, and principle-driven force. He will unhesitatingly stand against injustice on behalf of the voiceless, skillfully deflect harm that was meant for others, or meticulously dismantle a looming threat, not for accolades, not for gratitude, but because his internal compass, his unwavering moral code, absolutely demands it. For him, integrity is not a concept to be debated. It is the simple, profound act of doing the right thing when no one is watching and no one will ever know you did it. He doesn't post his good deeds online. He protects the people and principles he values in the real world. This silent and steadfast stewardship extends far beyond the realm of physical defense. He is a guardian of peace, a protector of confidence, and a safekeeper of truth. He intervenes with such subtlety, often preventing crises before they have a chance to fully form, that he ensures stability without ever having to announce his vital role in maintaining it. He understands that true strength is not performative or loud. It is the bedrock, the unseen foundational force that maintains equilibrium in a chaotic world. His presence in your life is a quiet, unassuming fortification, and his departure, should it come, leaves a void that is felt so acutely precisely because the safety and security he provided was so seamlessly and silently woven into the very fabric of your existence. This is the Stoic virtue of justice, enacted invisibly and without expectation of reward. 10 Human Seismographs. Understanding before fault lines form. While the rest of the world rushes to judge the destructive tremor of a person's negative behavior, the Sigma male instinctively seeks to understand the immense tectonic shift that caused it in the first place. He deliberately suspends snap judgments, choosing instead to become a deep listener and a patient observer of the hidden currents that flow beneath the surface of human interaction. He knows that outward behavior is rarely arbitrary. It is most often the distorted and painful echo of past wounds, unspoken fears, or invisible burdens that a person carries every single day. He possesses the rare wisdom to look beyond the immediate surface-level reaction to identify the underlying fault line of pain or unprocessed experience that is the true source of the conflict. This profound depth of understanding prevents him from carelessly writing people off as simply difficult, toxic, or rude. Instead, he offers the rarest and most healing gift a person can receive: the experience of being deeply and truly seen in all of your complexity, even in your most profound failings. He provides a non-judgmental space where your struggles are met not with dismissive labels, but with a quiet, compassionate comprehension of their origin. This is not about excusing poor behavior. It is about contextualizing it with a wisdom that allows for the possibility of growth, healing, and connection in situations where others would only see a dead end. This is Stoic empathy in its highest form, the ability to see the struggling human behind the problematic action. 11. The kindness of impermanence. Finally, to fully grasp the nature of the Sigma male's kindness, you must understand this crucial point. His deepest and most significant act of kindness might be knowing precisely when to disappear from your life. He invests deeply, supports fiercely, and understands profoundly, but he will never overstay his welcome or foster a state of unhealthy dependency. He intuitively recognizes that his role is not to be a permanent crutch for you to lean on, but to act as a catalyst, a guide for a specific and finite stretch of your journey. When his purpose in your life has been served, when he sees that your own strength has been fully realized and you are standing firmly on your own feet, he will gracefully and silently recede into the background. This is not an act of abandonment, it is the ultimate expression of respect for your autonomy and your individual power. He does not cling to relationships for his own validation or seek to make himself indispensable to feed his ego. His fulfillment comes from the quiet satisfaction of seeing you stand tall on your own foundation, knowing that he played a part in erecting the initial scaffolding. He leaves behind not a painful feeling of absence, but a lingering and empowering sense of your own presence, yours. His quiet exit is the final powerful lesson he has to teach, that true meaningful kindness empowers, it never possesses. It is the masterful Stoic art of knowing what belongs to you, which are your actions, and what belongs to others, which is their own unique journey, and having the wisdom and grace to release them to it. This, then, is the paradox and the power of the Sigma male. His kindness is not a gentle stream, but a tidal wave of transformative force, hidden beneath a calm and unassuming surface. This is the Sigma pact, profound empathy expressed not through noise, but through unwavering action, razor-sharp boundaries, and silent, unshakable strength. Their kindness is Stoic virtue incarnate, clear-eyed, deliberate, demanding, and in the end, utterly and completely transformative. If this philosophy resonates with the personal code that you live by, if this is the kind of quiet strength you are committed to cultivating in your own life, then your journey continues right here with us. This is not just another channel, it is a digital monastery for the modern Stoic warrior, a gathering place for those who walk the path of self-mastery. So, I urge you to do more than just watch. Engage with this community. Share your own insights and experiences in the comments below, because your perspective sharpens the minds of every man here. Like this video to signal to the world that this kind of truth matters. Share it with the one man you know who lives by this silent code, the one who most needs to hear his solitary path affirmed and understood. And if you have not already committed to this journey with us, then subscribe to Sigma Male Community and activate the notification bell, because our work here is far from over. This is your guide in the relentless pursuit of personal excellence and Stoic living. Now go walk your path and know that you do not walk it alone.